Hello Eatventure community, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to talk about everything Ultimate related. So the weekly themed events, how to acquire the Ultimate blueprints and how to craft them, and also methods to use to help you craft them quickly and efficiently so it saves you time in the long run. First thing I want to talk about is the weekly themed events. These events will alternate every week on a 4-week cycle between Thursday to Sunday. The events usually run in a specific order as well. So they usually go Moon, Mine, Middle Ages, Seaport, and then the cycle continues again and starts over. Each event will also have its own corresponding event box. So this week, for example, it's the Middle Ages. So we have the Middle Ages box here, which gives you a 2% chance of getting an Ultimate blueprint. Every event as well comes with various difficulties. So it comes as normal, hard, extreme, and impossible. To have a chance of upgrading your difficulty level, you'll have to complete every event to a gold standard on that difficulty first before going to the next. So if I wanted to go to hard, I'd have to do all the 4 events to a gold standard on normal, and then when the events reset again, once I've done them all once, it will give me the option of doing it on hard, and then that same applies from going hard to extreme and extreme to impossible. The second thing then that I will talk about is how to acquire these Ultimate blueprints. So there's only 2 places where you actually have a chance of acquiring them from. The first place is doing the event itself. Now this here is on normal, but if I completed normal to a gold standard, I will get given an event box. Obviously, depending on what difficulty you end up playing on in the future, your rewards will be increased, which is a great incentive to play as well. But it means that it will be more time consuming and will be harder. You can also receive them, as I've explained before, from the Middle Ages boxes, so that gives you a 2% chance of an Ultimate blueprint specifically related to this themed event. So each themed event will have 3 items, so 1 headgear, 1 body gear, and 1 tool gear as well, which I will go through them very shortly. My advice would be as well is what I used to do when the event ended on the Sunday, I would start to accumulate and save my gems from the Monday to the Thursday when the next event started. So then when that event started, I would open up the event box, which would then give me a greater chance of getting all 3 specific related Ultimate blueprints there. So it just basically saved me time in the long run. So like I said, there's 3 different types of Ultimate blueprints that you can get in each event. So you have the Moon. So the Moon consists of the robot head, the robot suit, and the laser gun. Let me find it. There it is. You have the Mine, which consists of the torch helmet. You have the tool belt and the pickaxe. With the Middle Ages, you have the royal crown, the royal robe, and the royal scepter. Last but not least, the Seaport consists of the shark head, the shark body, and the anchor. So, how to craft them? By tapping on each blueprint will show you the requirements that you are needed to create them. So if I wanted to create the laser gun, here's the requirements that I need. But be careful as well, because always make sure that you are aware of the gear it takes to craft the legendary item. Some people get too focused and too tunnel visioned on the ultimate item that they actually don't have enough to create it to begin with, because they don't have enough to create the legendary item. So what I mean by that is, for me to create the laser gun, I have to create this legendary item here, the mixer. So if I find the mixer, I also need to make sure I've got enough gear to create this first, so then I can create the ultimate item as well. The same process also applies to Hungry Pirates and the Zeus's Feast, so the necklace and the ring. But you can acquire your legendary blueprints, ultimate blueprints, mythic blueprints here at all times, as there's no theme boxes for them. So what I mean by that, you will only acquire them by playing your adventures here. So there's no specific boxes or themed events for them. You just get your blueprints here. Next point I'll talk about is the methods. Personally, there's 2 advisable methods that you can use to help you craft your ultimate blueprint a lot quicker. Method 1 is to always save 2 of every epic gear and 3 of every rare gear. The reason why, because at the early stages of the game, you aren't going to be in a position to craft / acquire ultimate blueprints, as your main focus will be to craft the legendary blueprints, because when you first start, you're only going to be having rare items and you're going to be having epic items as well. So when you do get a useful and do get that first legendary blueprint here, you are ensuring that you've got enough gear so you can craft it straight away, which is really important, so you're not wasting time. Regardless, most legendary items will need to be crafted, so you can craft each ultimate item in the long run as well. My method 2 is pretty much the same, just a little bit different, and keeping hold of more epic and rare items. So in method 2, you'll be keeping hold of 4 epic item, and you'll be keeping 6 of every rare item as well. This is more useful as you begin to transition into mid to late game, as you'll be acquiring multiple of the same legendary blueprint and starting / waiting to acquire ultimate blueprints as well. This will allow you to have enough gear to form both the legendary blueprint and the ultimate blueprint at the same time that corresponds to it straight away. So what I mean by that is, if I was waiting to acquire the laser gun, but I had plenty of the mixer, so the corresponding legendary item, so I had plenty of these waiting around like I do here, and when I finally get my hands on the laser gun, I'll have enough gear not only to craft the legendary item straight away, but then also as soon as I get my hands on the laser gun, I can craft that straight away as well. A great way of saving time, because as you can see, the laser gun requires these epic items and these rare items, but also the mixer requires the same again. So it's important that you keep, after a certain point, you consider to keep 4 of every epic and 6 of every rare. So yeah, that's all the tips that I've got when breaking down and talking about the ultimate gear. I hope you have found some of this information useful. If there is anything that you would like to mention, or any comments that you do have, or any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to answer them for you. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.